Pat, what it do?
Hey, Pat.
Say, what's up, Pat? I say, hey, Pat.
Goodbye.
Mic check, 1, 2. Pat say, hey, girls. Let's go. What it do? Yeah, we late. But yo, we're gonna get right into it. What's up? What's up? Say what's up, everybody. What's up, y'all? Let's gonna get right into it. Got week 6. And like I said before, we got Draft Dashboard tools on the next side of me, so check it out. It likes to compress all the information all at once, so you don't have to do the research, you know. But like we all know, I like to dive in deep, try to find some good spots, and if the data matches, you know, it's good to see that the research you put in also match up with the Draft Dashboard tool side of things. So yeah, man, that Cincinnati Baltimore was crazy. Luckily I had a lot of Burrow and Chase lines that definitely kept me in cash, so that was a great game. We had some good plays last week. Yeah, it was a good week overall. It was a good week. Let's dive into it for this week. I think we gotta go back to the well with the Baltimore, and you know we got the Washington Commanders, and they're looking real good. So it's good to see them. And like I said, I'm not against Washington. I was never a fan, but of course, being in the DMV area, it's good to see this team that needed to work everything from the management point of view. And I'm glad that they were able to get rid of the management and start from scratch, you know, and it's good to see that. So let's dive into it. Let's look into these injuries. All right, so we just now saw that Adams is still holding out. I know he's not hurt. Apparently he has hamstring issues or whatever, but we got Devontae Adams out. So of course that gives Tucker back his as you know, comes back as value. So he's 54 on FanDuel. I know he has to be way less on Draftkings. So let me switch this over to Draftkings. Yeah, he's only 4,200 on Draftkings, so that's going to be a good spot. Myers also questionable, but I do like Tucker for 4,200. I do have the news that Reynolds is out, so that does give a bump for Sutton for Denver. So we got to look into that as well. Oh yeah, he wants to be out of Vegas, so we all know it's not a hamstring, but just for the sake of legal stuff, he's gonna say he's out because of injuries. But we all know what's up with Adams. I don't think he's going to the Jets, you know, knowing that his boy has been hurt once again. So if anything, I think he should go to the Ravens. You know, go with a quarterback that's young, like Jackson, that you know that can make things happen. I think it'd be a good spot for Baltimore. Hell, even for the 49ers, you know, come on our side. You know, I'm glad we got our win yesterday, so that was a plus for us. So it's good to see that we get a win for once and not lose in the fourth quarter stretch. So I'm glad we was able to take this dub. So let's see who else is key injuries. Let's look in this list. All right, it says Trey Palmer is out. You got Rasheed White. He is doubtful, so we gotta look into the running back. We gotta look for Tampa. So that might be something we gotta look into. You got Njoku. He's back to being healthy. I think he's gonna have his first game back from his injury. See, Pittman went doubtful to questionable. Other than that, we got John Taylor still out for this week. Neighbors is back out for this week as well. So is Slayton going to go back to balling out again? We'll see. But all right, let's jump right into it, y'all. Let's get into these quarterbacks. We got some good quarterbacks this week. So I'm getting my notes. All right, so we're going to go back to quarterback. My guy this week I'm going to go for will be Dak Prescott. Playing at home, going against Detroit. This is going to be a high implied total. We're looking at a 52 implied total in this matchup. So I think it's going to be a great game overall. I think he's going to be trending for a big game this week. Last time he had his big game was against Baltimore. We had 32 fantasy points, 2 touchdowns, even a rushing touchdown that game. We're going against Detroit. They do give up a lot to the quarterbacks. They're bottom tier against quarterbacks. They give up around almost 300 plus yards in passing. I think Dak should ball out in this game. He plays better at home in a dome atmosphere. So this is going to be a great game where I feel like he'll give you that 28 to 30 fantasy points. My guy for this week to pair him up, as you can see, as my cover guy will be CeeDee Lamb. Tolbert is also a good play for value without Cooks. So I think Dallas is going to be a great game to target for a stack. And especially, we got to look into the Detroit side. Because even with the double dragons with Montgomery and what's his name? And Gibbs, I think it'll be a great game to target. But I definitely love Dak at his price point. 67 to me is still a good price tag for me. Knowing that he's going to give you around at 26 to 30 fantasy points, I definitely think he'll have a great game. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to give you 2 touchdowns. I might even go for a 2 touchdown prop for him. Yeah, beautiful. So I love this game in general. So Dak Prescott is my guy. I think it'll be a great trend. I'll definitely plug them all in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my positions. I think Dak for his price, he's going to be fairly owned, so I'm going to put him for cash. But I do like Prescott here. Prescott. I also want to go to my favorites. I'm going to go ahead and just plug them in. I do like Dallas as a favorite in cash stacks. Gonna go ahead and throw in Dallas in there. All right, next quarterback. I think we have to look to the well with Jaden Daniels. I mean, they priced him up pretty fair. I mean, he's up there. But like I said, I'd rather pay down to Dak Prescott. But man, Jaden Daniels been balling. He's averaging roughly 23 fantasy points a game. He's getting about 11 rushing yards a game, which is crazy. But going against Baltimore, I still think it's going to be a matchup where Baltimore is not a team where they protect the pass. So they do give up. They're vulnerable against the pass. They allow an average. Girls, calm down, please. The girl, but you know they allow average 280 passing yards in the game. They're looking at a 51.5. So they're also looking at a nice, high-scoring game here as well. I do like Lamar Jackson if you want to pay up, but for the price at 78, I don't think you have to play him for that price tag. he think he's gonna give you around that 24 to 26 fantasy points, but I think that if you want to fade that and go Daniels or, like I said, Prescott is gonna be a great spot. Um, so I do like Daniels if you want to pay up here. I do like to stack him with McLaurin. I had McLaurin last week and he did what he's supposed to do last week. So it's going to be a good game. It should be also a game to see if they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. If they were to beat Baltimore next tomorrow, I'm sorry, Sunday, are they a Super Bowl contender? That's going to be one of those questions and one of those discussions they're going to be talking about for Washington. But I do think it's going to be a good matchup for Jaden Daniels in this game for this weekend. So I do want to go ahead and also another favorite stack. I think it's going to be Washington. Washington's also a good stack to look at. I'm gonna go put Jaden Daniels. I'm gonna put him cash. Daniels. All right, another play. Let's go down. I think we gotta go down to Jordan Love for 6,600 on DraftKings. I think it's still a good price tag on FanDuel. I think I'm like 85 on FanDuel. But I think it's going to be a game where it's going to be a great stack for Green Bay going against Arizona. They're one of the bottom tiers against the pass as well. And he didn't have a good game like I thought he would. I mean, he had like 17 last week, but I kind of saw that as the reason why I didn't really play him. A lot of people was on Green Bay last week, but I think the play will be Jordan Love. They're giving up around almost 2 touchdowns to the pass. Let's see how much they're giving up so far to quarterbacks. Around 266 passing yards a game. Jordan Love for 66, also another great play. They're looking at a 47.5 implied total in this matchup as well. So I do want to consider Jordan Love for this week. I think Jalen Reed is still a great play. Even Wicks for nice value. I think that Kraft was a good play last week as well. So I do want to consider Jordan Love. I think he's going to be lower owned. So I'm going to go ahead and plug him in. I think Jordan Love's in a good spot against Arizona. Girls. Can y'all stop or put them in there? Another room. Thank you. Alright, so I'm putting Love for GBP. I think he'll be lower owned, but I think he's in a great matchup against Arizona. Let's see. Let's find some value. I think another value spot where we could look at will be Andy Dalton going against Atlanta. Had a feeling that Kirk Cousins was going to ball out last week. Kirk Cousins playing at home and it's turf, turf. He doesn't like to play outside and all that. So Kirk Cousins was a crazy play. He was cheap and he was 38 fantasy points. He was just crazy. 5 touchdowns. Dude was a monster last week. But he's I think Andy Dalton's going to be in a good spot. I think just for GBP purposes, if you want to play him for value, if you need the value, going against Atlanta. Last time he played him, he only had 14 fantasy points, but he did have 2 touchdowns. That was in 2022. But Andy Dalton for 5,200, if you want to go this route. Do I want to go Andy Dalton or do I want to actually go? I do like him if you want to pair him up with like Deontay Johnson. He could be I'm gonna look at his stats and see what he look like, but I'm not sure if I want to go Deshaun Watson against Philly. I think he should be in a better play, but it's kind of a what if situation. Maybe Justin Fields. Justin Fields could be in a better spot for his price. Going against Raiders, this might be a better spot for Fields. You want to pay for 5,800. Yeah, I like Justin Fields for the price. He had his big game against the Colts where he had his 35 fantasy point game. But going against the Raiders, I mean, their defense is better against the run, I believe. But this guy can make it happen on the pass and also getting away from the pressure from the pocket. He can make things shake. So Justin Fields, 58. I think that could be a spot to consider for 5,800. I do like Fields there. He said Rattler. I mean, Rattler looked good in the preseason. He could be a spot to consider. I mean, Tampa's not a team. They also give up on the pass. How much is Rattler? I mean, Rattler. Rattler. Spencer Rattler. Yeah, because Tampa gives up a lot on the pass. They give up over 240 passing yards, around 36 pass attempts. I mean, 4,000. I don't know, man. I'm really... Tampa is suspect, but it's kind of like one of those things where we assume Bucks defense should be the play, right? But you never know with this league. And Rattler, I mean, he got good pieces around him. Shaheed and Olave and Johnson, and got Kamara. That's still a good spot to look at. So for 4,000 on Draftkings, I think Rattler's still a good spot. I mean, just for the value purposes. I mean, going against a weak defense. I mean, they didn't even put him on here though. But then again, I think he is starting, so I would say Rattler. Yeah, it's kind of like Tampa's defense might go crazy on him, right? They could send the blitz, see what he might do, see what type of plays he could do. And it could be a lot of pick sixes. I mean, I do like the Tampa defense here as well. So it's one of those plays where if you wanna, have a line where just try it out. I mean, but then again, it's one of those plays where it's kind of like it's in the air, right? Honestly, I'm more likely gonna play more Prescott and Love lines, to my opinion. I do like Baker as well. Baker has me interested in playing him again. I do like him as well. Godwin has been a moneymaker. I mean, even Cade Otton's another spot to look at again this week. So it could go both ways, but then again, for 4,000, it's I guess worth the try. I guess. I do like Watson, man. I wanna love Watson. Last time he played Philly, obviously that was in 2018 when he played him at Philly. He had a 40 fantasy point game, 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. Maybe when you have his pieces, I guess he could be a play. I'm just kind of like Watson 5,100. I mean, he had a good game. I think that was against the Giants. He had 18. That was his last. I mean, that was the only game where he had his best of the best. But I feel like just going against Philly's defense is kind of like they're suspect. They're giving up around 250 passing yards a game, around almost 2 touchdowns in the air. Deshaun Watson for 51 still is a good spot. Excuse me. Thank you. So I mean, I still love him here. I think Watson is worth a play against Philly's defense. I still like Fields. I think Fields is a good spot as well. You got Fear Smith. Fear Smith is back.
I think I want to take the ate the rainbow. So when I was babysitting, Mom would just take the rainbow if I was apart.
Mm-hmm.
I was like that.
I didn't mean it.
Huh?
I didn't mean it.
Huh?
We gotta think about Jalen Hurts. You know, he got his guys back. I think AJ Brown is back. I mean, it's gonna be a tough game against Cleveland. But I feel like with his guys back in the game, I think this might be a better play for him. But I feel like you don't have to pay up for 7,200. So I think the two that I'm really settled on right now is Dak and Love this week. I still will have a play with Watson. I really feel like he's due for a good game, especially against this Philly defense. And if they have to keep this game close, I mean, I think Watson gonna have to be a factor too. Yeah, I like Jalen Hurts. Here. I think he can get his groove back with his guys back in the field. So I do like Hurts as well, but I'm more likely not going to play him. Yeah, if anything, if I'm going to pay up, I might go Daniels over Hurts. Just $100 more. I'm more likely to go Daniels. But Love and Prescott to me is the plays that I love the most. If I'm going to go pay low, I think Fields and Deshaun Watson are the plays if you want to pay low. Stroud versus Patriots. Pats can't score, especially with Stevens. I'm not playing that. I do like... I'm not sure about Stroud, but I do like Diggs. Diggs has great history against the Patriots. But more likely, I'm not going to play Stroud. How much is Stroud? 7,000. They're looking at, I think this is one of the lowest scoring games they're implying. They're looking at 37.5. Even the Pittsburgh game, they're looking at 36.5. So it's kind of, I don't know. But Diggs has good history playing against New England. I just feel like for 7,000 for Stroud, I'd rather go Daniels for 300. And like I said, even Prescott, $300 less, I'd rather go Prescott. So yeah, I'm not going those. I think these are my five I'm gonna stick with for quarterbacks. And I didn't even realize how dark this screen is. Hold on. Let's see. Can you turn it on? Can you turn it on? Can you turn it on? There you go.
Daddy.
Thank you.
Welcome. Daddy. Are you done?
No. I just started, boo boo. So you have to wait. Hold on. Trying to get my color back up. Alright, so you said mixing? I have mixing in my fantasy leagues too, but in my regular league, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm kind of in the air with that. Let's go to running back. All right, so we got Saquon Barkley. We want to pay up. I think Saquon, just for his price, man, 8,200 is crazy. But he's been real effective. He's looking the ball out this week, man. Like, he has a nice little trend. He had 36 against Green Bay. He had 17 against Atlanta. He bounced back against the Saints with another 36 fantasy points. I guess on here they have 37. Then he had a bad game against Tampa at 13. It just looks like he's going to be another pay up. Like, the trend looks good here. I like this trend. Oh yeah, Swift, man. Yeah, Swift hold it down for us, didn't he? Even the value play with Rashawn Johnson from the Bears was a good spot as well. We had some good value in running backs last week. But yeah, Saquon is looking like a nice little trend. I mean, he is pricey, but I feel like for cash, I think Saquon's a good spot here. But Cleveland is a spot where they don't really give up the run. Let's see, they only give it up around 95 rushing yards. How did he play? This is going to be his first time playing Cleveland, so I think Saquon he is very pricey, though. I do like him for cash. I think he's probably going to have that 20 to even 30 fantasy point game. But just for his price, I mean, just the price alone, he's going to need to give you 30 fantasy points. We're looking at 4 times value, right? So he's going to have to give us around 30 plus fantasy points. And he did last week 1 and week 3. So we'll see. But I think...
I'm just going to go pick up my target order.
Okay. So I think Barkley's a good spot. I even like Henry. I think Henry's also he should be a dangerous play going against Washington. They're gonna have a hard time to contain him. He had his game. He only had a 17 last week. He's definitely in the spot where he's going to bounce right back up against Washington. They're one of the vulnerable teams against the run, giving around 127 rushing yards a game. So I think Henry alone should be in a dominant spot here. Hell, if you want to throw both Barkley and Henry, and then if you want to look at maybe the pay up this week is going to be running back, and then if you have to look value at quarterback like Fields or look at Watts and those guys, that might be the spot this week. But I think both guys are in play this week. Henry's in a smashing play against Washington. If this game get out of hand, it's going to be because of Henry. Alvin Kamara, I mean, he's cheaper, 77. Going against Tampa, they're one of the teams where they don't really give up the run, but he's still effective from the pass attack. He's still getting a lot of targets. He had 8 targets last week, 9 the week before that, so he's still getting the targets, still effective in the passing game. Maybe with Rattler in play, it's going to help him out with the screens and stuff like that. So I guess if you want to go the route, so maybe Rattler could be a spot for GPP if you're looking at it in a standpoint like you have Rattler for 4,000, pay up in the big guys with like Henry and Kamara, still have a nice little, nice stack with New Orleans. I think Rattler could be a GPP play against this Tampa defense. So I'm going to put Rattler up there. I think you got some pat with Rattler. I think Rattler could be a spot, especially at 4,000. If I'm looking at it and making the lineup standpoint, to get a guy that's at 4,000 that could give me like 14 to 16 fantasy points in as a quarterback, but then I'm getting like 30 plus fantasy points in running backs. This could be a spot where maybe the value could be in quarterback. So I do like that. If I'm looking at it in the standpoint of making a lineup, Rattler could be a play, especially when to pair him up with Kamara. Kamara looks good. I don't think Hill is playing. Let me double check. Well, of course, we gotta watch out with Taysom Hill. I could have sworn. I think he was hurt last week. Yeah, he was out last week, but he is questionable. But then again, like if he plays still, like, we gotta look into the news with let me go ahead and plug in for injury news. I need to watch out for Taysom Hill because we all know he's a vulture when it comes to Kamara. But I think Hill. Taysom Hill. Questionable. I just think we gotta watch out regarding that. I do like Kamara against this. If we're looking at Rattler doing some crazy business against this team, Kamara's going to be a good reason of that as well in the pass attack. Go ahead and plug in Kamara. But I need to look at some plays for value. Let's go. I do like David Montgomery. If you want to look at 6,500. I mean, I like Jahmyr Gibbs as well, but I think Gibbs is priced up at 7,000. So for a guy that's around 6,000. Oh yeah, we had Chuba. He did good for us last week too. I think Chuba had 19. Yep, 19 last week. I think David Montgomery is a good spot going against Dallas. I mean, Dallas is one of the worst teams against the run. They're allowing roughly 95 rushing yards, but around 1.1 rushing touchdowns a game. So it could be a spot where Montgomery could be the play here. I'd rather, if I'm looking at 7,000 for Gibbs, I definitely think 65 is a better play for Montgomery. Yeah, it's definitely decent. Better in my eyes. Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs had 20 last week, but getting Montgomery where he can give you around 20 as well for the price. Yeah, I'd rather go Montgomery for 6,500. Yeah, I like that play a lot. Let's try to find some more value. Montgomery. I mean, I still like Chuba as well. I mean, Atlanta giving up around 98 rushing yards a game. I mean, he's been that guy. I mean, he's getting the touchdowns for them every game. I think roughly every game, not every game, but he had 3 touchdowns in the last 3 games. So we're looking at Hubbard for 6,300 on Draftkings. I mean, he's 74 on FanDuel. He's still cheaper than Montgomery on FanDuel. They got him at 79 on FanDuel. So Chuba's still a good play from the standpoint of pricing. He hasn't done well against Atlanta in his history, but he has been their guy. I mean, he's getting The target still. He's still averaging around 4 targets in the last 3. Rushing is kind of up and down. It got lower. He only had 13 last week, but 18 and 21 in the last 3. So I can see him still hopefully get his production back up. But that's about it. I do like Chuba as well. I think he's gonna be lower owned this week too. He is. His ownership is actually up there in ownership. Is it Bijan against Carolina? 6,600. Not bad at all. Bijan. What's up with Bijan? Yeah. I mean, Bijan is questionable. I'm not sure why. I don't know. What y'all think? What about what's his name? Algier? How you pronounce his name? The backup running back. Algier. I don't know. He's questionable as well. I'm not sure about Bijan. I mean, he never had a big game as of yet. But then again, it could be this week. He's kind of been 16 the most. Hold on real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on. Yeah, I want to watch. Mellow beat. Sorry about that. I gotta get the kids some Frozen. You know what I mean? Gotta keep them occupied. I don't know. I'm not really sold on Bijan. He's questionable, and I mean, Carolina is one of the worst teams against the run. What's up with Algier? Was it Algier? I think it was Algier. Yeah, how you pronounce his name? Algier. I mean, he had 6 and 10. Yeah, 24, 18. But That's what I don't think that was kind of lost. It's Algier. He just need more looks, but then again, I mean, his price is kind of up there. What? Calm down. Not really sold on that. I mean, I gotta find value somewhere, right? I feel like a lot of the. I feel like you gotta pay up this week when it comes to running backs. I feel like Henry is a lock. Henry's a lock. I think you're gonna go Barkley, but then again you could go Montgomery. I mean, Chuba is still a good spot if you want to look at. Maybe Jerome Ford against Philly. I mean, he's 5,600 for Jerome Ford. 5,600. Philly's allowing an average 109 rushing yards a game. Yeah, there has to be value. Yeah, you're right. There has to be some type of value. I'm thinking Jerome Ford. He's been up and down this whole week. I mean, he had 18 against Dallas, 10 against Giants, 15 against the Raiders. Then he had a bad game against Washington. I mean, Philly's one of those teams, they do give up the run. If I'm looking at Cleveland, right, I'm looking at Cleveland, they could be a stack. This might be a spot where we might see some value in Jerome Ford. He's not really getting enough rushes either. He only had 9 and 10. He's getting targets, but it's kind of in the air, right? Like Rico against Detroit. Pollard versus Indy. I feel like he had his big game last week. He had 19 last week, 22 rushing yards. Tony Pollard. I can never trust Pollard either. Every time I play him, I always get burnt. But they give up yards too. They give up 108 rushing yards a game. Last time he played Indy, he had 24 fantasy points with 2 touchdowns. I mean, that was when he was with Dallas. Pollard, it's kind of hard to just focus on Pollard. But then again, he had 18, 15, 5 when he played Green Bay. Then he bounced back last week against Miami, and that was a tougher defense. And I guess if you're looking at it that way, Pollard should be another spot. Is Spears getting more looks? I mean, Spears looks. He has 12 and 10. So I guess they're looking at Tyjae Spears. Tyjae Spears. He had 10. And, I mean, I think I trust in Tyjae Spears more. I think I like him more so for value. He's trending up too. I think I'm gonna look at Tyjae. I think Tyjae Spears for value is a better play. I just think I'm just not sold on Pollard. I think Tyjae Spears. I mean, go back to Swift versus bad Jag defense. I like Tyjae Spears. I think I'm gonna go him for value. Lala, come here. I'm gonna go Spears. I think Spears, just for value, I like him more so on value. Um, hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want waffle.
Okay, let me go grab your waffle.
You can make it?
Mm-hmm.
You put it in the fridge?
Yeah, I'm gonna make you a waffle. You want syrup?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, be right back.
Mellow beat. Mellow beat.
Mic check. Mic check. Can you hear me? Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. I think I'm back on. Yeah, it's not that much value. Sorry, y'all. Daddy duties. Yeah, it's not that much value, but if I think I'm going to go down, it would be... Spears. I do like the price. All right, thanks, Pat. See, Deontay Foreman, maybe. Yeah, I think I'm done with the running backs. I mean, I like if I'm gonna make a lineup, it more likely would be Henry, Montgomery is probably the two I'm gonna play. If I'm gonna go and try to find value elsewhere, if I'm not gonna play Montgomery, more likely to be Spears. I just like the trend for him. Get him more carries, get him more looks in the backfield. Tyjae Spears to me is a better play. He did get 15 carries last week, and Pollard had 22. So something to look at with Spears just for the value aspect. Yeah, I think I'm done with the running backs. I just want to make sure I'm safe on that. Let's look into the receivers. All right, top dog will be CeeDee Lamb for me. He has done well against Detroit. Last time he played Detroit, he had 44 fantasy points. His biggest game he had against them. 44 fantasy points. 17 targets. 17 targets. 13 receptions for 227 yards when he played at home last year against them in week 17. I think I'm going to go back to the well here for his price. Obviously, I don't see him going 40, but I do rather take him run at 30 plus. With Levy returning. I agree with you, man. Yeah, I think Spears is probably where I'm going to go with if I'm going to look value for Tennessee. Let's see. We got AJ Brown. He's returning, but it's one of those. Not sure what he's gonna do. And the fact they priced him up at 7,800 coming back from his injury is crazy. So I'm more like gonna fade AJ Brown. Stephon Diggs. I thought I had him highlighted. Yeah, I did. So Diggs, he has a good history. He had a good history against New England. So in the last 4 games at New England, he had 44, 21, 22, and 17. Not bad. I mean, 7,400 on Draftkings. He needs to have 20 plus. I mean, he had 14, 19, and 20 in the last 3 games. So hopefully he could give us that 20 plus for his price point. I'm fading Eagles. Yeah, I don't blame you. We really don't know what they're gonna do, you know. So I don't blame you on that. I mean, you got Devonta Smith back too, and yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do. But I do like Stephon Diggs. You're looking at the history against New England, and also he's done well at playing at New England. So something to look at. If you want to look at Stephon Diggs at 74. Another play will be Jaden Reed. Let's see what he look like. Like I said, I like Green Bay. Going against Arizona. They don't really give up the pass like that. They actually fairly good against the pass. But Jalen Reed's been well. I mean, 7,000 is kind of up there, though. But he did have 14, 30, 11 in the last 3. His only 2 games he had of big games were Philly. He had 36 against Philly in week 1. And then 30 against Minnesota. So against Arizona, it's kind of it's in the air. Maybe I wish he was like 6,000. I more likely to play him. I just don't like him at that price. Let me go ahead and start typing these guys in real fast. All right, we put Lamb. Diggs. I put Diggs GPP. I mean, what's the ownership for Diggs? Diggs looks, he don't look like he's that much owned. I do like Diggs a lot. Like I'm saying, Chris Olave looks good against Tampa. 6,600 for Olave. Shaheed. I do like Jalen Tolbert, like I was talking about earlier. If you want to pair him up with Lamb. I mean, he had his biggest game last week against Pittsburgh, which to me that's impressive against Pittsburgh's defense. He did have 14, 13 through 5, and then 21 in the last 4. Let's see, he's only 5,000. I mean, just for the price point for Jalen Tolbert. Yeah, you like Pierce with Indy. Pierce. Yeah, he had. That's the thing about but Pierce is like, it's like you got to count on him getting to the end zone. I mean, 3 targets is crazy though. I can't trust 3 targets. But for the price, how much is Alec Pierce? 5,400. It's like he has to get in the end zone. I'm kind of stuck on that one. I don't know if I want to play that one. I do want to look at Terry McLaurin. I think he has to be a play. If you look at the other side of the field with Baltimore against Baltimore, I do like that pair up with Jaden. McLaurin should be in a better play. Last time he played Baltimore was 2020. He had 14 targets, 10 receptions, 118 yards. It should be a game where I feel like for his price point, I think you got to go this route if you're going to play Daniels. I do like this play for him. McLaurin. Like Tolbert. I mean, 5,000 for Tolbert is not bad. See, Chris Godwin going against the Saints. He's been playing better. He plays better against the Saints. I think he had the last 2 times he played the Saints, he had 31 and 22. That's not bad at all. 6,900 on Draftkings. He is 75 on FanDuel. He's been trending down as of late too, so hopefully he can bounce back here. And you got Evans. If you know, we all know about Evans and Lattimore. That whole beef with them two. So he's gonna have a lot. I think Evans, knowing he has a lot going on with Lattimore, is gonna open up the field with Godwin. Yeah, the beef is real with Evans and Lattimore. So knowing that Palmer's out, it does give a bump in usage for Godwin and Evans. But if I'm gonna go this route, I think Godwin is a better play for the price at 6,900. I do like Godwin, and he's shown that he has done better. He's done better. I mean, he had like 30 and 20 in the last 2 against the Saints playing at New Orleans. I mean, for the value, I do like Cortland Sutton without Reynolds. I mean, he had 15-12 last 2 times against the Chargers. 5,300. He did have 15-14 in the last 3 games. I think Cortland Sutton is the better play. I mean, at 5,300, I do like the value here for him. I'm going to go Sutton for value. I think he's a good play for value. I do like, Dontavian Wicks, 5,200. I mean, he's getting the targets. He had 7 targets last week. He didn't do anything with it, but 7 targets, 13 targets the week before that. We had 25 fantasy points. I mean, yeah, Sutton is a good player. I think Sutton, just because I mean, who else is going to be throwing the ball to? But Sutton should be a better play. I mean, just for the value aspect, I think this is where we have to find value. I still like Trey Tucker. I mean, he had 5 targets. He's still getting targets. I mean, 15, 23 in the last 3 as well. I think we have to go look that route too. I feel like you have to look that route for value. 4,200 is still too cheap. So I think Trey Tucker without what's his name? Adams again. Just for the value aspect, I think you have to look at Trey Tucker. So more likely the value is going to be in the receivers, right? If we're going to look at DFS standpoint, trying to make a lineup, I think the value is going to be based on the receivers. I do like DeAndre Hopkins. What do you think about Hopkins? I mean, he's done well against in his career against the Colts. Oh, he had 19 and 25 the last 2 games against the Colts. I mean, he has Levy's back. I mean, Hopkins could be a good play. I think you got something going on with Pierce. I do like Pierce. Yeah, he is playing with a bad quarterback. That's true. I do like Wicks. I like Wicks a lot for his value. I do like Wicks. I'm trying to find Hopkins. I want to know who threw him the ball last time. He has been always a dominant. I mean, he had 27. I mean, obviously that's 2019, 27. But then last year, week 13, he had 18 fantasy points. And he had a touchdown. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 touchdowns in the last 5 games at home against the Colts. And it's hard to not play Hopkins at 5,100. He is too cheap. But who threw him the ball week 13 last year? Week 13. Levies. Week 13. Hold up, Patrick. Hold up. Hey, Pat, so Levy's threw him the ball last year. I mean, okay, so Levy's only had 12 fantasy points. He only had 12 fantasy points last year. But he gave Hopkins 18 fantasy points last year. I might have to plug in Hopkins. I mean, we have some chemistry right there. So the fact that he has a bad quarterback, the fact that he had 18 last year with Levy's, we have to look at that. I'm going Hopkins. I like the value here with Hopkins. I think we might have to play him. I think this is where we got to find the value. I think the value is going to be the receivers for sure this week. I do like Wicks. Yeah, you're right. He said Hopkins I trust, Levy's I don't. But look, the fact that Hopkins got 18 fantasy points with Levy's last year, I feel like you have to play. I mean, no, I ain't gonna say you have to lock him. I just feel like he is a play. The fact that he has history to where even with Levy's last year, he had 18 fantasy points with him and a touchdown. I feel like you have to consider that. No, I mean at least it would have been different if he had stats with Willis, But the fact that he played with Levy's and had 18 last year. Something to look at, man. I think Hopkins is a play. 5,100 is too cheap. He's damn near 4,000, like 4,900. I mean, 5,100 for Hopkins. Hopefully, giving you 18 plus is the play. I think I'm pretty much done with receivers. I think this is where we need to find the value is the receivers. Dobbs, Wicks. I like Wicks for 5,200. Hopkins is too cheap at 51. Trey Tucker is a good play for 42. I think this is where we need to go is the values this week. I mean, I could have Lamb as my top guy, but then have guys like Tucker Tucker, Hopkins in the mix to where it could balance out my lineup. I think that's going to be how I'm going to go. All right, I think I'm done with receivers. I think I got a pretty good receiver core in my eyes. Lamb, McLaurin, Reed, Godwin, Diggs, Hopkins, Tolbert, Sutton. I like Sutton a lot too. Honestly, that might be my three guys right there. It's Hopkins, Sutton, and Tucker might be my three value that I like the most. And then, have Lamb. But I think those three in value is where I'm going to go. All right, let's go to tight ends. I think if we're looking at Dallas still, I think we still have to look at Ferguson. I think Ferguson, he's been doing well. He hasn't had good history against Detroit, but he's been real effective in the pass attack in the last three. He got 13, 12, and 16. 13 against Pittsburgh, 15 against Baltimore. He wasn't as a big factor, but then again, I think he's in a good spot if you want to look at I do like Ferguson. You want to pay up, but man, 52, 5,000? I'm more likely not. I don't know if I'm gonna go 5,000. I do like Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz, his price never went crazy. It's still within under 4,000. I think you gotta look at Zach Ertz here against Baltimore. Last time he played Baltimore at Baltimore was 2016, so that's more likely. Obviously, is more prime Ertz, but he did have 14 fantasy points at that time. I mean, he can still give you around 7 to 8 fantasy points. I think still is a good value play for Ertz. Pat Fearsmith, going against the Raiders. If I'm looking at the stack with him and Fields, I think that could be a valuable play. I mean, he's done well in the last 2 games against the Raiders. He had 13 in both of those games. So Fields could definitely be utilizing him more in this game. And he had a big game. He had 17 against the Colts 2 games ago. Because he had 16. It says 17 here, but it kind of rounded up to the next number. So he had around 16 and some change against the Colts. Then he had 10 against Dallas last week. So I still think that Pat Fearsmith is the play. I like that price. So if I'm gonna go that route with Fields, I think this is a good spot for him. Yeah, I think it's a good spot in general. I think Kraft is obviously cash. Yeah, Kraft is obviously cash spot. 4,800 is still a great play. He's in a good spot against Arizona. We know how Arizona just gives up to the tight ends. Let's see the last few games. They just gave up 20 against Kittle. Ertz had 7. Laporta had 5. So, it's been... but Kittle had 20. Kraft is that guy. 4,800 doesn't hurt. I think just for the price alone. Under 5,000, I think Kraft is still a good spot regardless. If I'm looking at Green Bay stack, I definitely think he's going to be a factor in the pass attack. Kraft is definitely in play. Disley is kind of my hit or miss because Disley has done well in the last 2 games against Denver. He did play Denver in 2018. He had 22 fantasy points that game, and it didn't take much either. He only had 3 receptions, and that's the thing though. In the last 2 games against Denver, Will Dissly had a touchdown in both of those games. This could be something to look into. But, I mean, looking at his stats, Will Dissly is bottom tier. But he's still getting 3 targets a game. So, the fact that he had 3 receptions, even in those games, and was crazy overvalued. He had 22 and then 13 and 22. In 2022 against Denver, he had 13. He still had 3 receptions, 3 targets, and a touchdown. So maybe it's something where I'm going to just plug him in and hope that he does well. I mean, the last 3 games, he had 4, 5, and 6. But he still had 3 receptions in all 3 of those games. So if he just get a touchdown like he did in the last 2 against Denver, it's going to be a great value play. So I'm gonna have definitely some spots where I'm gonna have Will Dissly. Just the fact I like his history against them, and he had a touchdown in both of those games against Denver. If he get a touchdown and give you that 12, you already know who told you. You already know Melo told you. But I do want to recognize Windu. I think this is good. Might be a gem spot for Will Dissly at 2,700. Because even though, yes, I mean, those are almost, 4 or 5 years ago. Hell, even 3 years ago. I'll say 3 to 5 years ago. The fact that he only had 3 receptions in those games, and he's still getting around 3 receptions now. So if he gets in the end zone, it's definitely going to be crazy value for Will Dissly. Anybody else? I did talk about Cade Otton. I did say I like Cade Otton against the Saints. They do give up against tight ends. Let me go ahead and plug in. I forgot to plug in Fear Smith. How much is Fear Smith? Is 4,300. I do like Fear Smith. Feirermuth. Fear Smith. Ertz. I didn't go there. I think you gotta look at him. Dallas, right? Going against Cleveland? I mean, last time he played Cleveland, he had 18 fantasy points, but that was at Cleveland. He had a touchdown, 5 receptions for 77 yards. He's still getting the receptions. I mean, Dallas had 13 against Tampa. He had 10 receptions against the Saints. I think, but then again, I mean, that was without his receivers, so obviously his target should go down with their guys back. So it's definitely hard to play these guys for we don't know how they're gonna do. I do like Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson looks like he's trending. He had 3-8 in the last 2. He could be trending for a good game. I mean, Tampa is one of the teams too. They're garbage against the tight ends. Let me find him. Let me see where he at. Where are you? Where are thou? Juwan Johnson, 40. I mean, he's only 3,100. I think Ertz and Fear Smith. I mean, do you have to go that route? I don't think you have to go that route. So Bradley will need to go with his tight end. You're right. Yeah, you are right about that. He is trending though, man. I think it's definitely something to look at. You get 5 targets last week. I'm gonna put him in there. He's under. He's at 3,100. So if you don't want to go Disley, you got Dwan Johnson. That could be a play. Dwan Johnson. I got more tight ends than receivers. Yeah, we're looking at the stack. If we're looking to the stack with the Saints, I think that's a good play to look at. If we're looking at a stack with the Saints, I do like Cade Otton. Last time he played New Orleans, he had 10 fantasy points. And man, I think it might open up the field more without Palmer too. So without Palmer, and then he probably gonna get more looks, especially with Evans being locked on with Lattimore. It could open up more looks to Otton. Otton's only 35 too. I like Otton. 3,500. I'm gonna go Otton. Man, I got a lot of damn tight ends. A lot of tight ends. Alright, let me backtrack a little bit. Let me go to my stacks and see what my favorite stacks looking like. So Dallas, Washington, New Orleans for GBP. Smith, Pittsburgh. I forgot. Yeah, Green Bay. I forgot to put Green Bay there. Green Bay. Only the stacks I really like right now. Yeah, Cade is a good spot. I think he's in it. Yeah, I like a spot without Palmer. So Otten gets more targets with Palmer out. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot with Otten. 35. All right, I think I'm done with that. I think it was kind of simple. Keep it simple. But we got some good looks. Disley is definitely a hit or miss. But I do like Otten if you want to go that route for 35. Even Johnson. I mean, anything that deals with the Saints in general is going to be a toss-up, because if they shit the bed, then you're fucked. You know what I mean? So, yeah, more likely, I think Otton. I like Otton the most. I like Otton, Fearsmith, Ferguson, and Otton are like my 3 favorite plays right now for tight ends. They're more like solid and where they're, you know what I mean? They just look more solid. Everywhere else is kind of like hit or miss. Hit, then hey, we in the money, right? So, but then I know I'm gonna have some plays with Disley. It's just I'm looking at them more and more every time, like, just in case you need somebody under 3,000. All right. Let's go to defense. Honestly, I think a good defense will be the Texans. I do like Texans defense here against the Patriots. I think that's kind of like a definite. I do like Houston. Cash, they're one of the top plays. Falcons is another play against Carolina at 3,500. I think Colts is kind of a hit or miss. Now the defense. I mean, Buccaneers is kind of a. I mean, they're real cheap. They're $2,600. $2,600, and they're in a spot where they could dominate. So Tampa, for just the price tag alone of $2,600 is intriguing. It'd been different if they had Tampa at like 3,200 or something, but the fact that they got them under 3,000 seems to me like this could be the play for the Bucks. I do like Colts against Tennessee, but then again, I'm like, I mean, 3,100 for the Colts defense. I don't think I'm gonna go that route. I think that's it, man. What do you think? I think that's the only three defense. That's the only three defense I like, honestly. Like for the price points, you know, I'd rather like Falcons. It's understandable for 35. I like the Texans against the Patriots. I don't see anything with the Patriots. Everything else just looks like it's a hit or miss with a price point, but Tampa definitely looks good at their price at 26. So I think I'm done with defense, honestly. I think that's it. All right. Let's see if we can freaking make a lineup. There we go. All right. Let's see, make a lineup. All right. Let's go ahead and make a lineup. All right, we're going to do a lineup with Dak first. All right, let's get Dak. Dak in one. Let's go ahead and lock him in. Yeah, I forgot. I couldn't see what I was talking about when I said lock it in. So as you can see that little lock button right there, I could lock that player in. I forgot y'all couldn't see that last time. Alright, so let me lock in Dak. Let's lock in CeeDee Lamb. Let's lock in Henry. Yeah, let's lock those three guys. Let's see what we could generate. So he gave us Tajay Spears. Hold on, I want Henry, not in the flex. Do it again. Okay. So we got Dak Prescott, Henry, Spears. I was kind of looking at that route anyway. Tolbert, Tucker, Lamb, Fearsmith, Titans. I don't want Titans. I mean, Titans might be. No, I'm not playing Titans. Let's go and. How's Dallas defense looking like? And Bucks. I got a headache. My head is bumping right now.
You come with me because I know you.
I like Iden. What about Ferguson? If I'm gonna stay with 5,000. Let's go Iden right there. I want McLaurin. Is there a way if I could get Barkley? I doubt it, but let's see if I can get Barkley in there. Oh, I could get him in there somehow. If I put Tucker, oh, I got Tucker. Fuck. Oh, Hopkins. Look at throw Hopkins in there. How much I have left? 2,000. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to get his ass in there. Yeah, I tried. I ain't gonna be able to get him in there. It's all good. Yo, my head is killing me. Oh yeah, I forgot about Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton. I lost in the world. I like Fierceman. I like this a lot. So we got Dak, Henry, Spears, Hopkins, Tucker, CeeDee Lamb, Patch Smith, Cortland Sutton, Bucks. I love that a lot. I like that. Alright, let's change one with Fields. Man, my head, man. I want one with Barkley. But then again, maybe Barkley is not a good play if you're going to have all those guys back in the mix. He could be a play, though. Let me get Diggs. I need to find a way to get Diggs in there. Fields should be a good play. How much I have left? 1,000. Let me get McLaurin in there. McLaurin. Damn, $1,000 off. I mean, only at $100 off. Let me get Montgomery in there. My boy Will Disley. Did I get more Disley in there? There we go. Get some Disley in there. There we go. We got Fields, Henry, Montgomery, Hopkins, Tucker, Lamb, Disley, McLaurin. I like that. Let's do one without Lamb. I got too much Lamb going on. Too much Tucker. Let's get Tucker out of there. Let's get some Sutton in there. That's not bad. Smith. I want to pair him up with his tight end. That's what I want to do. Diggs is pretty up there in price. I do like Wicks. $5,200, but I do like Tolbert for 5,000. I don't know about Tolbert, honestly. Let me get Wicks in there. Yeah, I like Wicks. I'm gonna throw Wicks in there. Let me change McLaurin. Let me change it for Hopkins, McLaurin. And then switch out AJ. So I have better looks. I should have better plays in here. I'm about to get out in a little bit, y'all. My brain, my head is killing me right now. I got too much damn LED action going on in here. Oh yeah. I mean, he still got Hopkins. He's still not a bad play. Spears is not a bad play. I mean, I might be able to bump the defense up. What was my defenses again? I mean, I had Falcons and what was it? Oh, Texans. Maybe I could just change the quarterback. Maybe the Baker is a good spot. I do like Baker. Let me save that with Baker. Or I do like Love. I do like Love by himself too. Let's save one with Love. But let's do one with Baker because I did want to have Baker. Alright, let's go ahead and thanks, bro. Appreciate it. My brain shit killing me. Alright, let's do Otten. I do want to do a Tampa stack. So we got Mayfield, Henry, Montgomery, McLaurin, Sutton, Godwin, and Hopkins. But I probably could swap him out. I still like Hopkins though, but maybe I could get somebody in the 4,000. Oh, I like Tucker. It should be Tucker. Yes, sir. Let's go. I like that one. That's what I was looking for. It fit perfectly. Mayfield, Henry, Montgomery, McLaurin, Sutton, Godwin, Otten, Trey. I love this one. This is a good one. I love that one a lot. That's a real good one. Let me go ahead and put Baker. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That's a good one. That's like my favorite one right here. With Baker. I forgot to put Tampa stack. Yeah, this one looks real good. Everything that like Mayfield could give you 20, Henry 30, Montgomery 20, McLaurin hopefully 18 up, Sutton hopefully around 15 and up, Godwin hopefully 20 plus, Otten hopefully 10 plus, Trey Tucker hopefully bounce back, give us 15 plus, Buccaneers hopefully. Yeah, I love this a lot. This is my favorite one. Yeah, I like that one. That's my favorite one. That was the best one. All right. Oof. The fact Daniels is 8,000 on FanDuel is crazy. Okay, so I think Mayfield under 8,000 is good. Henry, Montgomery. How much is Gibbs? Okay, so Gibbs is cheaper on FanDuel. Is crazy. That's funny. I still want to put Spears in there somewhere. So I think I'll put Spears in. Yeah, he's too cheap. Spears, flex, Otten. He's not bad. I mean, 5,200 is still not bad. Diggs has to go off at 8,000. Put Godwin. Good price on Godwin. It might be the stack against Tampa. Oh, this is perfect. But I'm not really sold on Tolbert. I like Tolbert. I'm not sold on Tolbert. I like Wicks though. Wicks. Who else? Somebody on the Giants got to step up, right? Without, what's his name? Wendell Robinson? Somebody on the Giants got to step back up. Oh, yeah, there it is. Hopkins look real good. 5,800 is too cheap for Hopkins. Okay. I like this a lot, too. But I might be able to change defense a little bit. Maybe not. I mean, you got Falcons. Falcons look good. I mean, save that lineup with Falcons. I mean, Bucks is only at $100 less, so it's not bad. You get Bucks. Save Prescott. That's not bad. Prescott in there. Yeah, Neighbors is out again, I believe. In question. I thought Neighbors is out. He ain't out. Could have sworn I thought he was out. Yeah, Neighbors is out. Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah, I knew he was out. All right. Well, I actually like this a lot though, but I might want to throw a couple lines. Change my tight ends a little bit. Oh, well, maybe not. I mean, Zach Ertz is not bad. I do want to do one. I don't know if he's out, but I think most likely he is. At least, yeah, he's out. Neighbors is out. Let me do one with Daniels. McLaurin, Ertz. Hopkins, McLaurin. Damn, $200 off. It's crazy how Montgomery is cheap. Is actually more money than Gibbs on FanDuel. I do like Hubbard too. I don't know. I don't see myself paying this much for Daniels. I'm kind of forcing. I mean, I'd rather have Prescott over Daniels. I feel like I'm pushing it. See, damn. CeeDee Lamb is freaking crazy. 9,000. Okay, I might have to find a better tight end. Ferguson is what, 61? What my boy Disley at? 4,800 for Disley. Okay. Let me find somebody cheaper. How much is Tucker? 54. Okay, 800 left. Okay. Maybe I have to take out McLaurin just for the price point. There we go, Sutton. Maybe I could bounce back on tight ends. Otten. There we go. That's not bad. I mean, I get to get Lamb in there. Prescott, Henry, Montgomery, Sutton, Lamb, Hopkins, Otten, Tucker. Oh, I love that too. I love this one too. All right, y'all, man. This is actually pretty good. I like all of these. All right, if I was to save my lineups, go to my save lineups, I get to see who I had in place. So the best one we had was the Dak Prescott projected points was 100. I love that one a lot anyway. So that's my favorite one out of the three. Draftkings side. The best one was the Baker Mayfield one. I think it was 111 points. Yeah, so the Baker one was the best one on there. Which that was the best one. I like that one. That was my favorite one anyway. Baker, Henry, Montgomery, McLaurin, Sutton, Godwin, Otten, Trey, and Bucks. That was my favorite one anyway. But as you can see, we got great lineups. Make some good lineups, y'all. Appreciate it. Man, appreciate Pat sticking with me with the chat, man, as always. Appreciate the love, the support, as always. Hope everybody's having a great night. Enjoy their weekend. And, hopefully catch for week 6.